Hi all, welcome to race number 6 of the F120 My TeamCareer mode with Legend Racing. So at the moment we're obviously just going over our R&D tree, just seeing how upgrades are looking, what we might be planning in due course, and obviously seeing how upgrades are in general just now. So at the moment I think we're looking at improve the power, get that kind of addressed, and then I would imagine hopefully by then the chassis improves, but we're also looking at, I think we'll probably look to get a durability upgrade going as well. Simply just keeps us going. For me, I'd like to try and get as many upgrades going as possible at the same time. If I feel like it helps out for the car, it just gives us more reliability, especially as the car just now is probably on its last legs, because obviously generally you can change up the car. Obviously you've got to do six races with the same gearbox, and you've also got to factor in everything like your MGU-K, MGU-H and all this kind of stuff, like your turbocharger and whatnot. You've got to kind of make sure these are all up to scratch. So probably after this race, regardless what happens, I will be changing to a second, like a brand new setup for all of that. Just keeps us ticking over it, and it just puts us in a much healthier position. So this race, I'm prepared for it to be a potential like a car disaster, like the car might potentially blow up on us, I'm not sure, or we have some sort of failure. But you're welcome to smash like always, folks. We massively appreciate. Sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, G the Legend. All the links down below for posts and channel and social media links, as always, and all the links for dynamic foot card and Triumph chairs as well in the description below. But Catalunya is a track that I'm not usually the best with. It is a very Marmite circuit for me. Sometimes I can drive quite well, sometimes I can be quite hopeless at it. So I'm prepared for the worst, but I'm also prepared for hopefully a entertaining race. I'm hoping. I'm just having a look over everything, just seeing how it would look. I'm suspecting one should change them over to 2 anyway. Everything's like a clean slate, as it were. I was just a bit more curious what kind of impact everything would have, because it's kind of important to kind of know what you're upgrading and changing and so forth. Now obviously we only have 2 days, but I want to give the morale for the team, because they got us that podium at Zandvoort. If you've not checked that race out, go and check it. That was the very last race. Playlist for that of course is on the channel, which we've got every race going, so you can keep up to date with all the F1 races. If there's any you want to see how we're performing, got to get the morale up. Importantly, money's in a healthy spot as well. We'll probably look to maybe get that sorted. Maybe after this race, start spending some money on like facilities, improve all them. Maybe improve like our driver perks. Obviously we'll have to factor soon the contract for career, because I would imagine that'll be up soon as well. But looking at qualifying, generally looks good for us, so we'll get into that and get our teeth into it, and hopefully we can have a good Q1. I'm not 100% sure what to expect. I know they've done some changes to the circuit. I think over like the last year or so they've changed like minor adjustments. I think it's more in sector 3. Now the biggest issue I was noticing when I was doing practice was my tyre management. Everyone seems to also have the same problem with tyre management around Catalunya. It's usually the front tyres are usually like volcanoes, and it's usually the back tyres are freezing. If memory serves right, I think that's like, for what I've not, that's what I could be wrong on that, but usually it's been, when I have driven Catalunya, it's usually my front tyres are like on fire, and usually my back tyres are like quite cold, and I'm usually having to try and I'm overcompensating everywhere else. But I'm trying to limit the use of the car as much as possible, try not to put as much strain on the car, because there's a lot of wear on it, and I have that fear that we genuinely could be looking at possibly our first retirement if we don't look after the car. ERS cutting out there, not ideal, but we got on with it. But we got a decent enough lap time, puts us in 9th, so everything was clicking there, which is quite positive to see, so things were working in our favour. Now obviously Q2, we want the same again, but you can never get the same lap twice. I find from Catalunya I'm not consistent enough. It's usually getting that line spot on is a lot, like what lets me down is when it's really sunny and you can't see it, like the glare of the sun usually around the track can sometimes hamper you dramatically. I quite like Catalunya when it's over, like slightly grey but it's not raining. I quite like it when it's that. It's almost like when I think it's when it's cool. If it's too sunny then it's beat, but I know quite a lot of people hate it when it's the rain. It's like everyone's got their personal preferences with this track, and it's one of those circuits where it'll click for some people and it doesn't for others. It's one of my this is like this little block here of Catalunya and then Monaco next race are kind of like two of my weakest circuits on the whole calendar, so I'm prepared for a bit of a letdown, but at the same time we've got to give it our best shot and hope and pray that we can keep the car in as strong a nick as possible and be competitive at least. That's the way I've got to look at it. So we're coming through to the start finish line and we ended up not qualifying for P3 in the end. We were rock bottom, not a good time in the end. We actually tried to go a second lap but the fuel ran out the second lap and then we made a muck up on the third attempt. We ruined the lap, so I was like, it's clearly a sign that we're not going to get a half decent lap time for us. So as usual, you get, obviously we've got to keep an eye out on like the team acclaim and obviously the rivalry with Perez. That's what we've got to keep an eye on as well. It's fairly even between us both actually, but obviously Perez out qualified us. We get 1 to his 2, so it puts us 13-9. And obviously Team Acclaim is now up to 9. I'm now up a level as well, so we're definitely looking in a good spot now. I wanted to kind of go over this a little bit. In development, as you can see, we are going up quite nicely. Williams are catching up, not too far off behind, but everyone else seems to be making, like Alpha Tauri seem to be really massively upgraded into this race. So I'm suspecting that despite us very impressively in obviously Zandvoort, we may find ourselves slightly coming back to reality here, but I'm prepared for that anyway because the car is one, I think some of the upgrades are not quite there yet. Also the car's not quite 100%. It doesn't feel 100% because there will be parts of the car that's falling apart as it were. It's wear and tear. And also we've got to factor in that the car itself, with me under it, is not going to perform as well around here. If it was a better driver, it would maybe be more competitive, but for us it's just a case of just finish the race and we take it from there. I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm hopeful that we can go around pretty comfortably. So 1-2 again, 1-2 for Mercedes, Vettel and Leclerc and Vettel. So it's kind of the main three teams, and obviously like it's what's quite interesting here is you're seeing basically the same teams are just, it's like the rows. Oh, we're up a spot. How's this happened? Let's see. How are we up a spot? Who's got a grid penalty? We have the reason why. Roman Grosjean's got a 10 grid penalty. That helps us a little bit, but not majorly. We've just got to make sure that we can still get round the track in one piece with our soft and then medium tyre setup. Hopefully it pays in dividends. Get from there, folks. So 5 red lights, and we're off for the Grand Prix, for the Catalunya Grand Prix. See how we pay off right away. Just got to get a good strong start really. bit argy-bargy. Oh, that was a bit heart. Oh, it's argy-bargy. That was heart and mouth moment there. That was genuinely could have been over in one lap, one bend. That was not a salvageable. I'd have probably just thrown in the towel there, because if we'd got it's aggressive start from everybody. Like, what has happened? Like, the AI suddenly just turned the aggressiveness up to 11. But at the moment, we'll take where we are, if I'm honest. Like, 11 could be a lot worse. Like, I didn't even expect to take a few places. Oh, we're getting hit. Come on, we've been hit basically off the track. Come on. It's definitely a hot first lap, that's for sure. And if it keeps up this way, we might not see 17 laps. But just keep our head down, focus, and hopefully just keep a good steady pace for now. Nothing too groundbreaking. I think it'll happen for us if we keep. I think if we keep our head down, like looking at the car just now, Raikkonen's pace in that Alfa Romeo is pretty intense. He's got a good pace. So I would say we know fundamentally just now we haven't got. It's not necessarily the pace, it's just more the car itself just will not. I think it's more hold up to it. I feel like we just, like, if we know because of what we're like round here, how the car is just now, it's a lot harder for us to kind of be competitive enough. Like, we nearly went there, and I said that, oh, slight dodgeums. That is what we've got to be prepared for throughout this race. It's just kind of that kind of topsy-turvy driving. But we're up a few places before our pit stop, but obviously we've got to deal with the competition fighting around us. But if we can get in the pits in one piece, if the power will actually, come on car, get into the pits, get into the mediums, and then see where we're at after that pit stop. We'll have a clearer idea if the car can just not necessarily get us like the finish, but it's like where could we genuinely finish, because there's quite a few pitting in by the looks of it, so it's a positive sign as long as we can get out quick, because we've got no damage. We're just literally fresh set of tyres, and others might have the odd bit of damage here or there. But interesting that Gasly's went on to hard tyres. Interesting. I wonder if he's the only one. But I feel like for our car, it's a case of we're going to have to work. My fear is it's making sure that the power's there to get us round, because ERS we've got to be wary of, because there'll be power issues with that if we're overusing it. We've got to then factor in the gearbox is not too bad, but it's like the turbocharger and MG UK and that. It's like there's like so much, and then the tyre management, the fuel, like everything's just. I'm really not sure how this race is going to pan out, if I'm honest. I really don't. like, I feel like those that are in front of us aren't really, like, we're not going to catch because we don't have the pace. I feel like we don't have the pace. Like, yes, we're edging into the points, but we've got a long way to go, and if I'm honest, I don't feel the car has, like, I feel like I'm missing, like you can see there's a lot to be concerned about, and I feel like this is where I'm not to pace with everyone. I feel like it'll kind of prove when you see, like, maybe lap by lap where you're seeing Danny Kvyat and Gasly just catching us. If they're into us, I'll not be surprised. So it's like, as I was saying earlier as well, like, we kind of suspect this was going to happen eventually, that, like, Kvyat's locked up there, and I had no way of being able to, like, oh, how can I get my place back? Ain't going to happen. But I knew this was almost going to be one of these type of races where I know I've not got the pace, not got the car, not got anything. It's just one of those races where it's, no matter what, like, even difficulty would have made a difference really. I would have, like, yes, if you'd went a little bit easier, I'd be higher up the tree, but you've got to be competitive, and you've got to have your races where things don't go to plan. Like, you've got to have a reality check at some point, makes it more interesting. And the only way you can get better at the track is just by learning from your mistakes. And, like, at the moment, it's like, you can tell by our line as well, we're not too off, but quite a few times we are just not quite there. Like, we want to keep ahead of Perez for as long as possible, and he was behind Gasly, so Perez has got good pace and he's now away, so but as you can see, like, Danny Kvyat, Perez, just as the laps have went, they've just kind of built up the gaps. Gasly's now going to take us as well. As we said, the Alpha Tauris before the race looked like they've had major improvements in this car. We can't really then do anything about it. Giovinazzi's now coming up as well. Everyone's wanting, even Correa's getting in the mix, so it just shows that we have not got the car. nothing is going to plan. Like, he's determined to take us. We're fighting to hold a place that you'd be like, really? We're trying to hold a place that you wouldn't really be overly fussed about in normal race day. But we want to keep some driving us. We want to at least be like as competitive as we can. Plus, we don't want like Gio taking us and then potentially Correa taking us, because then it's like for one race and it means he's been better than us. Like, yes, you want Correa to do well, but like you'd like him to do just a little bit better than where he's placed, and also where we're placed. You want, end of the day, we want to try and build a car that both of us can be challenging the points, but we've still got DRS, so we're trying to use it as much as we can. But I've definitely just got, like, my biggest problem as well, I haven't relied much on like a rich mix, like burning through the fuel. I feel that's been a problem as well. When you've maybe checked through the race, I've had like quite a high spare set of fuel, like quite a lot of fuel, mostly because I feel like because I'm not attacking and I'm not really having to defend, I'm just holding fuel back. I feel that's a big problem as well, and I think when because I'm not attacking others, you just say to yourself, let's just reserve fuel, and maybe in reality, Albon's out, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Virtual safety car. I was going to say if it had been a normal safety car we'd been laughing. Just be winning the back of Gasly. Just be winning the back of him. That'd been all we need. A normal safety car would have put us right back and we could have had half a chance. Because we could have really tried to, but then we might have wrecked the car. I don't want a virtual safety car. You don't want. Doesn't really help the situation. But hey ho, we ended shortly anyway, so keep the pace. There we go, back. Right, well, I'm confused. There we go. Well, when the game does that to you, it confuses you. But if that had been the safety car, for the lap that it was, it genuinely would have made things pretty interesting. Then we could have genuinely had an outside chance of, but then we'd maybe be too aggressive in the last couple of laps to try and get a point finish, and so it could have ended in disaster more than anything. But just try to keep Gio and Correa off our backs. We're still going to try and push Gasly, but it's interesting. These are hard tyres, and we genuinely can't even take them back. We haven't. Like, it shows that even on tougher tyres, it were, that we just don't have the. Oh, Gio! Oh, that could have been close. That could have been. Gio's going to take us this time. He's away in careers as well. Jeez, everyone's taking G this race. It's like it was the other way about last time. Well. Just get content and take where we're finishing, I suppose. But sometimes we have those races, it doesn't go to plan. We have a reality check and just keep our head down. But we're coming to start finish line. I find it hilarious. We're coming to start finish, and it's like our last lap basically, and we've done our fastest lap. Been one of those races, obviously, but regardless, we did say before we started off that this would be one of those races where we kind of expected it not to go to plan, but you just take what you get, obviously. And the main thing is we just now focus our efforts on to Monaco. That'll be another track that's going to be definitely interesting for everyone, because everyone has their own drive around Monaco. Leclerc won that race, so we're going to be preparing for Monaco, get the car kind of all like new gearbox, new everything, so it will be a brand new car for Monaco, so we might be in a healthier shape. Big question is, can I do a decent drive around Monaco? Like, I never can usually, but I suppose if defensively I can be quite good around Monaco. That's the thing. Like, I can be very stubborn around it. But we're coming around the start finish line, and we finish in 13th place. I think we've actually went even faster for our last lap. I think I might be wrong. Yeah, fair play if we had in the end. But Danny Cavilla is driver of the day, and we get ourselves. So we'll go from there, folks. Dust ourselves down, and we just look forward to next time. But let me know as well, folks, through what you've found of the series so far. Are you still happy with the difficulty? Are you happy with the car itself, like the overalls and the livery? And do I need to, like, things we need to kind of consider, like, do we change career? I would personally, I'd like to stick with them, give them the season, and then go from there. But all in all, Ferrari gets first under Leclerc, Hamilton second, and Vettel in third. But all in all, just notch that down, experience and reality check. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. As always, folks, smash the likes, always sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GIsTheLegend. All links, as I said, down below as always. So hopefully you enjoyed that, folks. Albon, obviously, out of the fold as well. But career right behind us in the end. But as I said, hopefully you enjoyed this, folks. I'll get Monaco up as quick as I can, and I will catch you all later.